Greetings YouTube, this is Seth Heineken here with Veridian World Crafters, and I'm going to show you a demo of my game, Verrago, the world's first globe game. Oh yeah. So this is a magnetic globe where magnetic pieces can go on it like so. So these are just some custom pieces I made. This is supposed to be a city, that's supposed to be a keep, this is a character. And then if you look closely, there are some more. Another city, another keep, and another character. This is just basic representation of how the cartography works with the game pieces, the magnetic pieces. These are just your small, cheap, Chinese-made neodymium magnets. This is just a plastic globe made by Columbus Verlag from Germany with some painted magnetic paint, like some quality stuff on the inside. They did a great job, and the print on this is actually low quality. They have a much better machine, which is for production quality. So I'm just going to give you a little roundabout of the globe. This is the artwork I put a few years of work into. Let's go back to here to stop it. Now, how this works is that the city has a hidden number underneath it. You would look underneath it and then have a city card right here. Now this city has been claimed by that character. So that red character right there has claimed this city. And you can tell by, it's got the 2 underneath. This red character has the 2 underneath. And this 2, by the way, on the character is secret. It's a secret number. You don't let anybody know this because they could get assassinated if they figure it out. Yeah, that's generally how it works. Now you begin this game, you build your cities, you build your holds, you know, pretty standard fare for a game, right? Every game has these. It's kind of cool, you get to make a map out of this. It's your own map, it stays there. This whole globe is like a save file. Now there's a couple interesting mechanics here at work. You're probably wondering what this wheel is. Well, this is the magic wheel. These are all 130 different runes. You invest your resources into these runes. There's 2 people playing right now, so there's only 2 master runes in play, and this is the master rune wheel, the earth rune wheel. And this is how you power up one part of the magic. Now there's also a magic card. See, for example, they have a master card here. This is the master source. So this powers up their culture, which is also hidden, and their culture is another aspect of the game entirely. There's 5 different paths to victory in this game. But this rune wheel moves. You can also perform some math on this wheel, and that allows you to perform like a strategic math type of game style if you want to. So there's no dice in this game at all. Right? This is a controlled strategy area for manipulating random generation. Okay, it's based on an old rune wheel slash cipher concept. Back in the old days, before they had computers, they still used codes, and the cipher wheels worked great for that. Now, some basics too, like how battles work. So your characters, they own stuff. So character number 2, this red character here, owns these 4 units as well. One character right now can own up to 10 different things. I might tweak that later, and there's also free resources in the world you can get through events as well. So this character has an army of 4, but see, the thing is that nobody knows. You just have one core card, right? Nobody knows which character has which. So if I had another character on here, and they could also invest on this, when the battle starts, you flip everything over. So the battle has joined. Well, boom, the other guy. That means these 2 places have maybe magnetically interacted. Oh, well. Sometimes that happens. Technical difficulties. But on a steel globe, that's not going to happen. So that being said, you have flip these bad boys over. As you know, there's probably a lot of, and we're just going to assume all these numbers are the same for purposes of simplicity, but they're all numbered 1 through 5. So, and then they come together, and then it's like a rock paper scissors thing. So you had a bunch of swordsmen and a bunch of archers just duking it out, and it was very simple, standard setup right now. None of the siege equipment, bombs, explosives, any of the muskets, rockets, or any of the other stuff. This game has a wide range of technology. It also has a variable magic system, so you might not be able to see this, but this purple wheel has 21 different levels to the world of consciousness, and they change. Now, how they change is via the apocalypse. So this game is an apocalyptic game. Very magical. This world of Vaeya is my own creation. I've put 16 years of work into this. I've been developing the board game for only 2. The amount of work that's gone into this is, you can assume it's a lot. It's a full-fledged world. You have an apocalypse cycle that comes, so you're scurrying around fighting each other, trying to get resources, especially if the game puts you in close quarter situations like these, and then you try and dominate everybody around you if you need to. Now, if you don't need to, if you're spread out around the world, you don't have to. And this game plays with the concept of choose your level of conflict very, very detailed. Right? In a very detailed way. So it allows you to choose your own, for example, these kingdom cards right here. They are one of 5 unique paths to victory. They each perform their own mission, if you will, for your victory, towards your victory. And so if, say, these guys weren't warring and they're actually allies, you can actually see them ally like this as well. Very simple. There's still some materials work to go into this game. It's not perfect right now. It's still a very rough prototype that was just made a few days ago, like a week ago, honestly. So right now you are completing the Pentagon with the final person joining your group, a mysterious purple third player, and then you have all the requirements of the 5 paths to victory. So this person is not a very good ally coming to your group, right, because they've got nothing invested. But you can see at a glance, there's very low analysis paralysis because you can see another person's team very easily in their strengths and weaknesses. Anytime you don't have one of these in your kingdom, that's a weakness. That's exploitable. You can attack that. If you have more, say, in the Verrago section, you have more investments, you're likely going to win that fight because you have more options. So you would square off with their Verrago, say, if they had this treasure and everything was also built up. It's very easy to attack and defend this. And so it's easy to understand. A game like this has a lot of cards, It's got 1,164 cards to be exact. And those cards mainly focus on magic and exploration. I'm really showing off the IP here for you guys. 16 years worth of work, like I said. So I'm not going to let that go to waste, all that good world development there. There's another, so I was talking about the apocalypse. I'm going to get back to that. The apocalypse goes down in 5 cards, drawn one at a time through an event exploration deck that you can just randomly discover, or when you throw off the game balance, which is on the very outside ring here. There's 6 different things that could go out of whack, and when they do, the planet strikes back in a big way. So Vaeya is not a happy camper when you mess with her. So I really want to get that theme across. So I think it's a relevant theme right now, right? So that being said, when Vaeya gets pissed off, the apocalypse comes quicker. An apocalypse is like a surge of magical energy that you develop your characters and ride that wave and try and ride it better than other people and try and push them off their surfboards, if you will, while they're surfing it with you. It's a great game. Now, one would say, well, why would you even group in this game? Well, there's one resource in particular. It's called group power. It's the only way to get it is to be in a group. Another thing is that you have to overcome the apocalypse. So choose your fights wisely, but at the same time, based upon how you've chosen your position in the direct competition versus indirect competition with these kingdom roles, you will be able to have a big part of the strategy in that alone. Now, once the apocalypse goes down, a lot of things get destroyed. Cities act like hit points. They just drop like flies. Characters drop like flies. Characters are trying to shape it, and they get feedback, and they explode magically and all that fun stuff. Then whatever survives, they'll try and retreat to their strongholds. Run! Yeah, they're in their strongholds. Oh, safe. It's a little wonky right now with the magnets, but with steel, it's a lot better. And so they're safe in their magnets, and they're riding out the apocalypse inside their apocalyptic super magical bunkers known as strongholds. So, I mean, maybe I'll come up with a better name than that, right? But right there, and they're on the continent of Verrago. Right here's this big old ancient star dragon that fell the sky. Anyways, kind of cool. And you ride it out, and then whatever remains, that's just that's one form of victory. So say everybody gets wiped, their city gets wiped out, but your city remains. So red city remains. Okay. That being said, red is a happy camper. He's got one up on brown. He wins that one. But say brown was spending all the time questing and explore this whole continent, and with their other characters, and you didn't. Brown might win I like to call it the Valhalla victory, which is you're in the halls of Odin of yore and drinking and enjoying a little bit of that good story session at the end of the night, and you tell the story of your amazing journey through discovering all these interesting story points here. All these little numbers here are different story points I have. I've got them all over. It's a big feature of the game. Currently only 70 right now, but I have about 500 more I could add if I want to, if you want it. And yeah. So the legacy elements of the game persist. So you have your strongholds here, and then your strongholds stay, and then whatever characters remain. Oh, the world stopped ending. Sometimes apocalypses can just, bye, strongholds. These things are fickle and random. So you've got to manage that as well. Now there's a lot of play I can put in that, but I have to test it still. Okay. By the way, you play overall. I just showed you some basic game mechanics, but you start your hand with like a poker-style hand of family members. These family members have a lot of options on them, and then this gives you an idea of what your group's strengths and weaknesses are, and you never show who your family members are until you're using their strongest strengths, okay? And then you would naturally stack up all of their experience that they've gathered, be it experience, gold, group power, like if they're, say, an emperor, they get a lot of group power. You just stack it on top of them, like that. Now you would naturally stack this one off the side, but then the other ones stay in your hand. And then this guy has 7 experience, because they've been traipsing around the world exploring things, and that's how it works in general. Now, this game is a legacy game with these components, right? It's got magnets here. You're not messing up the board every time. The other side of it is that this game also has tabletop role-playing tie-ins. You have all the components to generate a cool map, which is ultimately what everybody does for world building in making settings and stuff like that for tabletop role-playing. They might always make a map. Some settings are just like, this is the conditions of the world. You enjoy running around and exploring all these cool things we made up, right? This has a lot of that too, but it's all in card form, so you're actually playing with the mechanics, hard mechanics here. You're playing with the magic, you're moving it around, you're aligning things. There's also planets. This also features I've got 13 planets here, and those planets go onto these runes as well. And you can create planetary alignments through certain mechanics I've designed that I have not released yet for very important reasons. Because there's a copy-paste culture in the board game industry, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of that. We'll see. And so back to the game. 2 to 10 players right now. I'm thinking of releasing it for 2 to 6. Overall, in It's a labor of love. I'm sure it shows. And you're looking at around $150 to $200 realistically. At the same time, as a tool to help people create a story world, and you get 2 games in one. You get a tool, right? You get a simulation tool to help your campaign creation, right? And you get a legacy game. A little more on the campaign creation side because I cut myself off there. The campaign creation goes like you get everybody together for your group. You do like a 0 level game session for any tabletop role-playing game. And then you go through and play a game or play a couple games. And then you either videotape it like I'm doing now, or you make a world together. And you make the world together. And you can have a complicated world because of it, because everybody owns up to what they were doing, right? So if you fought somebody, you created a kingdom here, so-and-so created a kingdom there, these 2 kingdoms fought like cats and dogs. That's how it works, right? You can then have that as role-playing material. So even if you're a complete stranger, you're new, and you've come into a bunch of friends, right? And you're the new guy, you have something to role-play with, because everybody's on the same page. It's not some major thing, major campaign setting that you're not a part of, right? Because coming into like a crazy session like that can be a bit daunting, especially if the world's old and you don't know about it. But if you create it together, it puts everybody on the same footing in the beginning too. So that's good hostmanship as well. And this is definitely to try and promote good hostmanship. This is definitely the meat and potatoes kind of game. This is the game people would come to play. Shop owners have told me that this is the kind of game that they want in their shops. So a lot of good things going for Verrago, the Globe game. Please like us on Facebook. And we're at Veridian World Crafters on Facebook. So that's Veridian, World Crafters with an S at the end. And just one word for World Crafters. And that is how you search for us. Please like us, and I'll be sending out more updates later. Right? I'm not going to edit this, so warts and all. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good night. I'm doing this at night, by the way. Take care.